A person has two deaths. The first when they actually die, and the second is when people stop remembering them. And that really has stuck with me since being a kid. My name is Alex Rogers. I'm an exchange student from England. This is my third year of my archaeology degree. Sweden in general, I wanted to come to for a long time, actually, because I've always been interested in like Viking Age as an archaeologist. Also, my thesis that I'm writing for my bachelor's is on the Vendel period. Not calling it that. I'm actually renaming it to the Age of Beowulf because it's a whole different sort of phenomenon going on back home in the UK. I find humans so fascinating, and it's the most incredible thing to get to study humans. And as an archaeologist, you get to study not just humans as we are today, but humans on the full spectrum of as our genus first evolved 9 million years ago, right up until the present day, based on the material culture, which lets you get so much more personal than like historical records. Because historical records until the Middle Ages, they're written normally by priests or kings, and they're telling you these grand narratives of great men conquering great lands, which is not how anyone really experienced history unless you were a soldier or an aristocrat. Whereas if you're doing archaeology, you get to see people and how they lived, what they ate, where they went to the bathroom, what sort of houses they built. I know, it's just beautiful to me. So this is one of the rune stones from Skåne. At one point the university was going around, they just found all of the rune stones that they could and just collected them, brought them to the university and put them into a display. And like behind me they built like a fake burial mound for, I believe it was like a rat or one of the university professor's dogs. I don't quite remember. Rune stones like this is why I wanted to come here, because it's just so beautiful. I mean, look, this is just writing written by someone from 1,000 years ago, 1,100 years ago, and it's beautiful. It's just, and you have them all over Scandinavia, and it's gorgeous. I suppose these ones in particular are special to me because like I walk past them every single day, and they're both a sign of why I came here, because I came here for archaeology and history. But it's also a sign of like why I love being here, because I mean, just look at this place. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and being here, I've just had such a wonderful time. And I walk past these stones, which are history, but now they're kind of like a part of my history as well. And every time I come back here in the years, and I will be coming back to Sweden many times, I'm gonna look at this and remember taking a photo here with my friend Hannah, so we're like looking like this and posing together, and that's a photo I've got printed off and I'll be keeping for many, many years to come. But the memory, that'll be with me till I die. I think archaeology can teach us a lot of things, one of which is history, our past, because when you learn about history, it tends to be grand narratives, like it's telling stories about kings and queens, and they were not like us. That's not our history. My family's pretty comfortable and well off now, but go back a couple of generations, they were working in the pits, down the mines, and on one side, and the other side they were working as servants in manor houses or doing carriages. To understand that sort of person's life, you can't look at a history textbook, you can't look at the grand narrative. You've got to look at what was someone's life. Some people you can get that through their notebooks, their journals, but if you can't get that through a journal, what you've got to do is find what did they leave behind. So it's a map of Scandinavia because I mapped on my travels, my studies in Aarhus, Denmark, and then a little trip I took to Jelling where I bought this, and then Copenhagen, where I fly in, a little trip there with my mum. Lund, where I'm studying and living now. Alastena, where my closest Swedish friend, just after I arrived, she drove me over here on a little road trip around Skåne. Göteborg, where I went with a few friends. I've been there twice now. Oslo. Next on the map is going to be Stockholm and Uppsala. But I wanted to make this a bit more special than just places drawn on a map. So I've drawn all the people I traveled with, but I've also asked them to sign it. And I was thinking of the Lord of the Rings and Bilbo's map from the Lord of the Rings. And I was just thinking, in 50 years, I'm going to have that framed up on my wall, and I'll be looking at that, thinking back to this time traveling around and living in these different places. And it just make me smile. People misunderstand archaeology as, they think it's Indiana Jones, dinosaurs, or they think the opposite, and it's just stuffy history classes. What archaeology is just humans over the 9 million years we've existed have just made so much shit. It's just constantly making things, and then we leave it. And when you look back at it, you can understand someone's life. I know how important it is for me to be remembered, and every person who has died recently, we remember them and remember that they were people. But then the further back you go, the harder it is for people to really understand that they were humans too, and they were still people just like me, just like you. I think it's important to be remembered because we exist in a community. We're never alone. We're never truly doing anything just purely by ourselves. Everything we do impacts someone else. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does like to rhyme. Humans are the same as we've always been. There's literally no difference, like biologically, between you and me and an ancient Greek or an ancient Mesopotamian or even a caveman. Evolution does happen over this timescale, but not to the point where we're any different. I'm not afraid of growing old, but I'm so happy in my life now, and I really have not always been. This joy I have now, I just want to make sure it lasts longer. I don't really think I'm a particularly interesting person to remember. It was more of an example, but maybe if I have kids or grandkids or great-grandkids even, and they see this, then it might make them smile remembering me, or maybe my friends after I die.